Hello, Liz here with another craft, and today we're going to be using this board that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it has some dents in it along the edges, and then I put a few more on with my hammer. This was 90% off, so the board costs $1.59. Just a good cheap board for a stencil project, and it already has the sawtooth hangers on it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to put this wood looking scrapbook paper on it, and I got it from this book here, Natural Botanical, and I probably got it from Hobby Lobby years ago when it was 50% off, or maybe Michael's, I don't know. And we're going to be using this stencil here, which I put the link in the description for it. It's one of the 8x11s, and you can go to my site, lizyonke.magnoliadesignco.com, to order any of the stencils and the chalk paste that we'll be using today. And if you order from my link, I get a small percentage. So this one here says, God is able to do far more than we could ever ask for or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. I just think that's a really good verse. And we're going to be using some raffia for our bow, some ribbons for our bow. The chalk paste we're going to be using is this brown chalk paste. We're going to be Mod Podging the paper to the board, and so I don't make a mistake and cut this too short. I'm just going to do the inside of the board because I want the edges to be seen. So I'm just marking a spot here where I need to cut my paper, and I have my cutter right here that I'm going to use to do that. Turn it around this way so I can see my mark better. Okay. And then since I don't have enough of this to go all the way through, I need another piece. So I'm just going to mark it also. And then I don't need the full piece, so I need to decide where I'm going to cut this. I did kind of want to match this up a little bit, so I think I'm going to overlap it a bit and then cut it right there. Okay, now that we got our pieces down, I am going to cut a little bit more off of this other one here. So I don't have a lot of overlap. Okay, so now we're ready to put on our Mod Podge. Now I use the matte Mod Podge. I'm just going to pour some in my tray here. And then I'm going to use this foam brush today. So I'm just going to brush it across the front of the board, and I don't want to do the top or the sides. And it's not going to be a very thick coat. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on there. Which way did I have it? Like this? Or like that? And then I'm just smoothing it down. And I can see I need some more Mod Podge. Get that off there. This is what we have so far. And I'm just going to continue with the Mod Podge and put my other sheet of scrapbook paper on here. To put a little bit under the edge here. I'm just going to put it on the paper itself. That way I'm not going to go over this other piece of paper too far. Okay, so we have our board covered with our scrapbook paper. And we're going to stencil. So this has never been used before. These are very sticky, and you need to fuzz them before you put them on your paper, or it's going to be really difficult to get it off. So I have this mat here that I got at the Dollar Tree. You're supposed to set your wet dishes on it. Magnolia does have a fudging cloth. I think it's about $7 or $8. I will probably get me one next time I order. These are reusable stencils, very easy to use. I really like them. You can use them multiple times as long as you clean them good. So I think this is good. And I'm just going to try to eyeball it and put it in the center. Let me put this down a little bit. Put it in the center of my board. Okay. And I'm going to be using my larger squeegee. Now these come together like this. and you can cut them apart. I use the smaller one for my smaller stencils and the bigger one for the larger stencils. And we're going to use this brown chalk paste. Now this is a little thicker than you really want it. I'm going to go ahead and use it, and then I'll spray it down with some distilled water. I'll put like 4 or 5 squirts of water in it. So I'm just going to put this right on the words and try not to get too much on the green, because the green, you don't need to put the paste on the green. It's only the other part that actually is the screen part, where you where the words come through on your project. And this is what I mean. You just want to make sure that you get all the places where your words are, that you have them covered pretty good. And then as soon as you're done, you want to clean your stencil. Now, because I'm not getting up to clean mine in the sink, I have a bucket of water over here. I'm going to put it face down in the water so it won't dry out. And then when I get done, I will clean my stencil. The chalk paste is more easily to get off than the inks are. The inks, you want to use your stencil cleaner sponge that you can get at Magnolia Design. The chalk paste you can get away with using your finger, and it's best to clean it off in your kitchen sink where you have a sprayer. So we're almost done here. Okay, and I'm going to take my distilled water and spray some. I put that much in there, and then I'm going to put the lid back on. Okay, so when you start to take off your stencil, you can start it at the edge, but you don't want to pull it off from the edge. Since these are really sticky, if you pull them off from the edge, you're going to distort them. So you want to pull them off in the middle. Do you see how that is? Isn't that wonderful? I really love these stencils. God is able to do far more than we could ever ask for or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. Now, you can see the E is a little bit, it bled a little bit, and that's because it's right there at the intersection of those two pieces of scrapbook paper. Okay, so I'm just going to put this face down in the water. And then once you clean them off, you want to lay them out to dry, but you want the sticky side up. Now, I'm just going to use my heat gun to dry this a little bit. Oh, and if you would, please, if you like this video and you know someone else that might like it, please sprinkle the love. And you can go to Liz's craft page, and in the video section are all my videos, video tutorials, and I'm also uploading them to YouTube. The chalk paste dries pretty quickly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a bow, and I'm going to put it up here in the corner. So I just have these different ribbons. They just came from different places. So here's this brown one. Then I have this tan one. Then I have this piece of yarn sort of looking ribbon. And this piece here, I wanted to use it even though this is all I have. I just think it's really pretty. And then I have this one here. And then my brown raffia, which I've never really used raffia before, so we'll see how that goes. I have this tie here. I forget what they're called. I don't know why I can't remember that. And that's what I'm going to tie my bow with. So I'm just going to cut some pieces. Let's see how long. Probably about 6 inches long. And I'm going to cut probably about 4 of each, except for that one that I just have a piece of. I'll just use the whole thing. Okay, I'm almost done. Just going to cut this one here in half. And this one I'll probably cut 4 of. Okay, I'm just going to move this over so I can work on the ribbon here. And I have my tie. So I'm just going to stack these in an X. Keep my finger on them so they don't move. So I'm just taking 2 of each one and crossing it in this X pattern. Alright, so I have all these stacked here, and I'm just going to put my glue gun on it to hold it down while I get some of this raffia here. Like I said, I have never really used raffia before, so this is kind of new to me, but I just thought it would be a cute addition to this bow, since I did have some brown. So I think what I'll do is, let me see. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, these pieces and this and like this. So I'm going to cut this in half here, and I'm going to put half on one side and half on the other side. And then I could cut those ends later. So I'm just going to take my tie here, I'm going to slip it underneath. Okay, come on up here. Right. And then I'm just going to slip it in that notch there. And then I'm going to pull it, not all the way tight, but a little bit, so I can turn it to the back. And then I'm just going to hang on to it a little bit while I look at what I have here. Okay, it looks pretty good, so I'm going to tighten it up. Looks like I may have missed a piece, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm just going to cut this down. And I'm going to trim this up. Trim this up a little bit more. And this is what we have. So I'm just going to glue that. I glue it on our board in the corner here. Just like that. Yeah, right there. Oops, I need some glue. So I put a blob of glue here. Probably got a little bit too much. And then I have this wood button. So I'm going to put that on top of that. Get my glue strings off. Okay, this is what we have. What do you think? Kind of a nice fall colors. What I'll do is I'll hang this up and I'll take a picture and I'll put it on Liz's craft page. And if you guys feel inspired to make something like this, please post it on the page and let us know how you made it. I like to see what other people do with the crafts that I put out there. And if you need to order anything, the links are in the description. So I'll be back tomorrow with some other craft. Until then, keep crafting. Bye.